Hello, today we're going to talk about how to take config backups from multiple devices using a simple Python script. I've already posted another video on the channel that explains how to do a config backup from one device. In this video, we are just expanding on that script to carry out config backups from multiple devices. So let's quickly look at what the script does. So this is the script I have based on Python, obviously. Just like with the previous video where I was doing config backup from one device, I'm importing napalm function. The get network driver is the one that is the key here. The date time, as the config files are being stored, they will also be stored with the date and time on the config file name. The get pass, so that the password is not explicitly given on the script, it will be prompted and taken from there. And there is also a time, which is another key parameter that we are using to record the time it took to take a config backup from each device. Now the username is a variable that is defined where we prompt when we run the script for an input to enter the username. So whatever a username we enter is stored in this variable called username. Likewise, password, when we run the script, the get pass will prompt for the password. Whatever we enter is stored on this variable. Now further down, where we want to store the configs. So I create a variable backup directory and I refer to the path where I want all my configs to be stored. So I've created a directory called demo, inside which I want the script to store the configs. Now the list of devices for which I want to take a backup is listed here. Junos driver is a variable, as we know. It is just a name. You can have any name you want. I am invoking the get network driver from napalm and I'm referring to Junos because in this example I'm taking backups from Juniper devices. So starting off, user is equal to the username. So I define that variable from here. Password is from the variable where I had already got the password when the script ran. And starting time is referencing to the time when the script invokes, so that we will be able to get the time it took for each backup. That is explained at the end here. So now a traditional for loop for IP in device IP, as you can see here. I am creating a variable which will run the Junos driver from the napalm, which is using the get network driver, as you see. The host name is equal to the IP, the username which is already stored here, the password which is already stored here. A friendly input saying I'm connecting to the device with the IP address which I'm connecting to. We open up a session. First things we do, just like the previous video, we create a variable called fax. We look at the fax from the router. We identify the host name and we store that into a variable called host name. Then date, the format in which we want the date and time for my configs to be saved, is listed here. So finally, the key part, we open up a file on the backup directory, which is the path where I have the folder inside which I want to store my configs. Then I want to create the config file with the host name of the device that I'm connecting to, with the date, and finally ending off with config.txt. Then we take the running configs or the active configs from the box. After we finish it, we close the session, we come out of the session. So this is pretty much closing the file, the write file. Then we close the session. So once the loop is over, we finally come out. So let's quickly run the script and check how it works. So I call Python 3. I refer to this particular file. So you see, it's asking me for a username. Then it's prompting me for the password. So now it connected to the first device with the username password. It finished the config backup and it took this much of time because it records the time here at the starting point and the elapsed time. So that's exactly what it is doing. So for each config backup, it is just giving me a reference to how much time it took. Now let's check if the folder has all the configs. I'm just going here. As you can see, all the configs are now stored in this particular demo folder. Now we can even just have a look at the config, just a snippet to show how it is taken the backup exactly here, like a JSON format. So hope you like this video. Bye for now.